Hello, I'm Kim and welcome back to my studio. Today we're going to paint a dynamic wave painting using only a handful of colors, 2 brushes, and a sponge. Let's jump right into it. So we're going to start off with our sky in the background. To do this, I'm going to mix a cooler blue color with a white, and I'm going to cover the top 2/3 of my canvas using a nice big flat brush, and then we're going to move on to the water underneath. So that's the sky. Next we're going to move on to drawing the outline of the wave. So I'm going to take a dark blue color here and I'm going to add some to my palette as well as directly onto the canvas just to help things move along a little bit quicker. And I'm going to get a medium-sized filbert brush here and I'm going to brush the blue first into the bottom 1/3 or so of the canvas. And then I'm also going to dip into that blue color and start creating the outline of the wave. One little tip here is to overlap the sky and water a little bit just so you have a bit of a gradient between the two, so there's not a really harsh edge between the two. We want it to look like the sea is receding into the sky a little bit and have a bit of that fuzzy edge so it's a little bit more realistic. So now I've moved on to drawing the outline of the wave. This is going to be the focal point of our painting, and so I'm taking it pretty large, but you can start off small and slowly build it up from there. And we're just going to paint it this solid dark blue for now, and we're going to add some variations in later. So I'm just going to get this outline down, and I'm also going to ensure that I'm painting over everything in the direction that I want the wave and water to go. So you'll notice I'm painting over what I painted below, and just making sure the strokes are all aligned in the one direction for the flow of the water. Moving on, I'm going to get a lighter tropical blue color here, and we're going to start adding some variation to our wave. So this is where it might be helpful if you have a reference photo of a wave. If not, I can put one down below. But you'll notice that when waves actually break, there is a lighter color towards the center of the break, and then it goes darker towards the outside. So that's the same effect I want to add here, where I'm going to make it lighter towards the center of the wave where it's breaking. And then I'm also going to exaggerate some of the details as well to make the painting more interesting. So I'm going to take that lighter blue color and add a few little strokes here and there as well, just to add more contrast and variation to the painting itself. Last color, I'm going to take some turquoise here as well, and I'm going to follow the same steps I did for the lighter tropical blue color, where I'm going to add this more towards the center of the painting and then push it out towards the outside of the wave. I'm also going to add some variation to the wave itself using some turquoise strokes, ensuring again that you are always following the same direction of the water. So we don't want strokes going in all different directions. We always want the water to look like it's curling over upon itself. Now for one of the most critical parts of this painting, you're going to want to make sure that your painting is completely dry after you're finished painting the wave itself and all the blues in between this next step. The reason why you want to do this is because you don't want any parts of the painting to still be wet when you're going to be applying your whites. Otherwise the colors are going to be muddy and you're not going to get these nice, crisp, bright white edges that we're going for. So make sure you set it aside and then we'll move on to the sponging. So what I've done here is I've poured out some white onto my palette, and then I've taken a regular kitchen sponge, I cut it up to pieces, and I've dabbed it into that white and then also just removed some of the excess. It's really important that you want to go slow here. It's so much easier to add paint than it is to take paint away. So I'm just taking it slowly and building up the droplets of where the wave is curling over on itself. So I'm going to start with the outside here, and then I'm going to move into the inside as well as where the wave is breaking. So take your time with this, build it up slowly. It's very helpful if you want to take a step back at points to look at the painting as a whole, and then just continue on. You may want to add some extra white to the frame and the inside of the wave in the painting. So what I've done is I added a little bit to the bottom there as well as throughout the wave, just to add an additional variation and detail to the painting. Now it's time to move on to the fun part if the sponging itself wasn't fun enough for you already. So I'm taking that large flat brush I used to paint my background earlier. I have wet it and I'm going to dip it into the white paint and then use it to flick onto my canvas. The reason I want to do this is it gives me a lot more control and nuance than the sponge does to show where the little droplets are flying off. So I'm just using it to add some extra details around the curl of the wave as well as down below where the wave is breaking, just to add a little bit more detail and we can show some of the droplets flying. right, and this is pretty much the last step for this painting. One thing I like to do when I'm finished the painting is just take a step back and look at the painting as a whole and make any last little final edits that I feel like would really add to it. So some of the things I'm going to do here is I want to emphasize this little curl here a little bit more to make it stand out. I'm going to add more of the white around the curl of the wave, as well as add some more white throughout the wave itself for contrast. So you can do whatever you'd like. This is just like the little final touches I wanted to put on myself. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching to the end, and I hope to see you in the next painting tutorial.